Hello everyone, my name is Danielle and I'm from Cage's Readings. So I didn't post a video last week just because I got a really bad cold. There's just something going around town here where I live. And unfortunately I was just off and out of work for a week. So anyways, to make up for it, I might post 2 videos this week. We'll just see. I kind of got behind on a lot of things. So yeah, maybe this will be one of 2 videos, or maybe it'll be the only one. We will see. That is my cat Millie yelling at a door because she's been really bored being locked inside for a week. Anyways, so today's pick a card reading is gonna be I don't know, I wanted to do a little ocean themed. I think it was kind of just a little more emotional themes. So if people are feeling like their health hasn't been that good, or their, mental health, emotional health, whatever hasn't been that good, just hoping to get some guidance for you in this pick a card reading. I've literally been sitting here for like 30 minutes being like, I don't know what to make this card reading about. So I'm just going to pull cards and see what needs to come out for you. And we'll just go from there. So that being said, if you want to take a couple of deep breaths, get grounded, be centered in your body, do so now. And this is just a great way to make sure that we are reading messages that are from your highest potential and not from like your nervous energy or your fear energy. And that you find a pile that really resonates with you, because you'll be more interconnected. You'll be more connected with your intuition. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, so pile 1, this is going to be your crystal you choose by. It is a clear quartz point. I don't know, it's not quite wanting to focus on it. This happens a lot with cameras. Look at that. It focuses on everything except for the thing it's supposed to be focusing on. It's kind of like me trying to get this card reading done. All right. Can you see it? There we go. You can finally see it. Yeah, this is pile 1. The card deck that we have for you is just Oracle cards from the Archangels by Doreen Virtue. Pile 2 is this piece of amber, which, if some of you don't know, is like fossilized old tree sap. It's like, I think, millions of years old is how it forms. And your Oracle card deck is Angel Antlers. It's by Doreen Virtue and sorry. She's probably just going to be annoying the whole reading and meowing, so or at least for the pile 1. Sorry, this is by I also can't say his name. Rydlene Valentine. He always partnered with Doreen Virtue. They have a lot of decks together. And then pile 3 is this piece of Kambaba Jasper. Kombucha Jasper. I think it's Kambaba. It's kind of fun. It makes me think of like frogs and tadpoles. I don't know. It just always does. And the Oracle card deck for you is the Magical Messages from the Mermaids. Okay, and don't worry if you don't feel drawn to one of these piles, that's okay. It just means that there might not be a message in this card reading for you. But there is so many pick a card readings on YouTube, so go ahead and just keep scrolling until you find one where you're drawn to one of the piles or crystals. You really can't choose wrong. So if you feel called to one of these messages, then I will see you in your pick a card readings. Hello, pile 1. So you chose this clear quartz point, or you chose the Archangels deck. Either or, one of these brought you here. So we are just going to shuffle the cards, and we're just going to ask for any guidance you need to hear right now, all in your highest good and love and light. As I was saying in the intro, we do just like to read your highest potential or highest possibility. I'm not really into reading people's fears of what could happen, because I just don't think that's a future that anyone actually wants. So why entertain it? So anyways, that being said, what does someone need to hear right now? Okay, what's going on for them? That's too many cards. I'm gonna put this here, and it's funny about the outdoors card. When I was just saying also in the intro that my cat Millie is like screaming her head off because she wants to go outside. And she's really bored. And it looks really nice out there. I think it's actually quite warm. So she recognizes that somehow and just sits by the window and screams as you can hear her. Anyways, so you have a lot of yellow going on. It's definitely the first thing I'm noticing about your pile here. All right, I think I might need to go do something because maybe it's not annoying you, but for some reason it's really annoying me that she's just yelling for so long. Okay, sorry about that. We'll see if this lasts or not. So pile one, I have to be honest, there's some interesting things going on for you. When I'm seeing this career transition in comfort, sorry, my one cat really is in a sassy mood right now. That was still Millie. She just jumped up to where one of her brothers were and she didn't expect him to be there, so then she hissed at him and yelled at him and ran away. That's okay, sure. Yeah, he's a very sweet boy and he's very submissive, so she bosses him around a lot. Okay, anyways, career transition and comfort. I feel like there's a bit of an energy of having been broken up with. And I don't know if this is literally in your career, like maybe your career, maybe you got fired or transferred to a different department or something like that. Or if you are in a romantic connection that ended, I'm not sure. It's kind of confusing me, to be honest, as there is just definitely a like I feel like an ending to something that happened that caught you off guard. And when I see the comfort card, I feel like it is saying, like your guides are trying to bring you comfort about the situation. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it could also just be because I've been sick. Sometimes that doesn't help with like reading energy because your energy is just weird. But there's just a lot here about being kind of in a phase in your life where you're not really sure why something happened, or how it's like benefiting you, or how it was like a good thing for you. And yeah, I'm like trying to see if this is where I should be starting this card reading because the only thing I'm seeing here is like take back your power. And then I feel like it's like literally saying there's like two ways that you need to remember how you are still empowered in this situation. One is by prioritizing where you're putting your energy and your focus right now. So if there was a career transition or like a career ending or just like like how do I put that? Like you got transferred or something like that, or a career ended, but then it kind of worked out because you've been wanting to start your own business or something like that. You feel like it's like saying like prioritize, start focusing on those inspired ideas that you've had, those things you've been wanting to do. Because this card, like this prioritize card, feels like you've already there is other things on your plate you've been wanting to get done or focused on. I'm not sure if it's even career specific, or if it is like if you're like a parent or something like that, and you've been wanting to do a lot of this stuff, but you just haven't had time to, and now you can prioritize that, whether it's like helping your kid with a certain thing or get better at a certain skill or helping them with schooling or working on your relationship with them or something of the sort. Maybe some of you have been trying to write a book or something or are like an artist, and it's like, now is your time to prioritize that, because there's no doubt in this card. Like, it's so funny. I feel like there's a lot of pressure for me to like say exactly the thing you're trying to get working on, but then I'm like, no, I don't need to say that exact thing. You know what it is. You already know what it is. Don't need to wait for me to nail it on the head and say it. You already know what you should be prioritizing because it's been on the forefront of your mind for some of you for months, for years, for decades, that you've been wanting to get time to focus on this. So it's like, take back your power. If you got forced into like early retirement, even for some of you, um, don't take it as a beat, like, how do I put this? It's like kind of talking about getting out of that victim energy and going into that, like, what can you do about it? So the first one is prioritize that thing that you've been really wanting to forever. And then on the other hand, it's like, remember who you are. Like, you know who you are. Think about all the shit you've done in your life. Think about all the stuff that you've lived through, all the things that you've learned, all the wisdom you've gained, all the insights you've had. Like, there's so much that you know and you've lived through and you've like worked through. And it really is saying, like, if you're feeling disempowered by your current situation, remember how strong you are, and remember that momentary discomfort happens when we are changing states or changing places in our lives. So yes, it's okay to feel uncomfortable, but shift it into remembering how strong you are, how much you're capable of, and all these things that you've been wanting to do anyways. See the opportunity in this moment. That's really what it is. Because there's everything here is talking about changing how you're seeing your situation and how you're seeing it and letting it reflect on your own value and your own self. So if this is a time where you have um, not chosen to be removed from your job, but you're being forced to take a break or something, then it's saying, see the gift in it. See the gift in it. And I know that can be really hard, but it's just like, you're not seeing how this is serving you. And if you've heard that expression, it's like everything happens to serve you. See how this is serving you now. I mean, you can see all the reason why it's not. Maybe you're stressed about money. Maybe you feel like it was unfair, like you weren't being appreciated, like someone didn't value how hard you were working. But it's like, okay, I think you've spent a lot of time focusing on that. Maybe it's time to focus on how that job was not honoring you and how it is actually a blessing for you not to be working there anymore because they were making you stressed. You were constantly complaining about it. You're constantly dissatisfied there. You're constantly being undermined. Like, if you hated that job, then you just were set free, my friend. That's like what I'm thinking. You were set free. And it's kind of a funny energy because I feel like there's a lot of resistance here. Like, there's a lot of anger and frustration because I feel like it was really sudden and it wasn't very fair, how you were probably let go of this job. But the funny thing with your guides is they feel super sassy and they're just kind of like, why do you want that job still? Like, why do you want that job where they didn't appreciate you and they treated you like shit? Like, don't you see that it's a miracle you're set free from it because you weren't quitting it, and you were tolerating it and it was making you miserable? And this might be a very specific message for some of you, but it's coming through pretty strong. I'm always like, oh, guys, I don't want to be saying these sassy ass messages. um, Anyways, so life review and outdoors. So this is talking about how, like, if you're just really having a hard time feeling like yourself or getting like rid of this like sort of anger and frustration and just like, like this energy really feels like you like put your best effort forward and someone didn't appreciate it and didn't see it and basically just like threw a cup of water in your face. It's kind of how this is feeling about the place you were working at. I assume past tense. I'm not totally sure. Where you just weren't being appreciated. And these two cards are kind of talking about like some reflection and like saying how if you go outside and you get some fresh air and you connect with nature, it really does help you de-stress and gain new insights and ideas and recenters you. It's almost like it helps you just be able to process that anger and um that sort of like chaotic energy that I feel like you might be feeling, and really kind of just see how like that job really wasn't serving you, and people like your boss just maybe didn't have the emotional intelligence or tools to know how to handle you or how to be a manager, because often I think we've all experienced this where management sometimes is the most immature in the building. And if if then like everyone's managing the manager, you feel like you might have been in one of those environments, and it's just like seeing how like that was never going to change, and staying there wasn't going to be good for you because it was really frustrating, and your gifts and what you were trying to accomplish could never be heard or done because this person just like wasn't really a manager. They were more just like running around like a grown child. So life review does talk about just taking time to like reflect on like where you've had other people like this in your life. So it could be more so like, mm, have you often run into this kind of person in the work environment, or where have you seen this, like what is the pattern coming up and what is the lesson here? Because if we get the same people again and again in our lives, we need to start asking ourselves, what lesson am I not learning? Is it about standing up for my beliefs, or is it about leaving situations when they aren't honoring me or when they can't serve me anymore? Or is it about listening to your inner child or inner voice when it's not getting what it's needing? And I feel like there could be something there, because something on being acknowledged, as my cat keeps running downstairs and just like screaming her face off. Feel like there might be a message there. Are you ignoring something within yourself that is just needing to be acknowledged? Because that's the same thing. I feel like if this job and a lot of other jobs, you haven't had anyone be able to recognize what you're offering, like your value, it might be because there's like a need for you to be able to need to know that you are bringing that value yourself. Does that make sense? It's not that no one else can give you compliments, but it's like if you're needing it from outside of yourself, it might be because there's a belief within you that you're not doing enough until someone has acknowledged it, or um, that you have to keep doing more and more and like taking on more than your workload so that people acknowledge you and then you feel like accepted or you've done a good job. I'm not quite explaining things very well today. And for some reason, I usually don't actually get that annoyed by my cat. It's yelling. I usually can tune it out pretty good. And for some reason, it's really getting to me. So I just feel like this might be like a message for you, is that maybe there is like a lot of like unprocessed anger sometimes that can come up for you. And like I said, like take this as it resonates, right? Like around people just never recognizing you or giving you recognition for how hard you've worked or all the work you're putting in or the value you bring a place. Um, and yeah, I think there could be something there for this pile, but you. So you take it or leave it. Um, yeah. So claircognizance and spiritual understanding, pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you, and they are answered prayers. And I'm bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. So claircognizance talks about just deep knowings and just knowing what to do. And this actually feels a little like off of the rest of the message here around work. Like this is just talking about I don't know, like I really feel like getting deeper clarity. And I know it's talking about spiritual understanding, but I almost wonder if it's starting to bring more awareness and understanding to other people's what would you call that? Like psychological abilities or like I feel like maybe you're like starting to like grow your understanding on like really seeing how some people can and can't offer you what you're needing. So like I don't know, this feels like maybe you've been listening to some podcasts or you have like a friend or you've been seeing a therapist or counselor who like are really like giving you clarity and insight on yeah, just like how other people are wounded and where they're limited in what they can perceive and understand in others, and understanding their shortcomings. Does that make sense? Like, it seems super random to be saying that with these two cards, but like I just keep kind of getting that vibe of like really understanding that um, it's almost like where you're wounded and other people are wounded in different ways, and they can't even see that you're needing. There's a part of you that was needing this like validation and appreciation, and I feel like there's something here where you start to see that other people just like didn't see how much you cared about the performance of your work or the quality of your work, um and that was really important. Like these people are just like I don't know, I feel like you're really seeing like the children in them, the wounded children in them. I don't know if it's specific for like this boss that I think there was like some issues with, but just maybe like starting to see that in general with people. So I don't know, yeah, if that's something you have considered is like seeing a therapist or a counselor or a life coach or something. But I do just see a lot of clarity coming from that. And then from that, a lot of healing. Whenever we see rainbows in oracle cards, it does talk a lot about like with that realization, something just clicks, and it literally has like such a what's the word? Has such a shockwave effect. Or I can't think of the word. It's not the word I was looking for, but like it just like really changes and shifts and alters everything and how you see it, and that even brings healing in itself because it brings a clarity that you didn't see before. Yeah. Okay, I might want to just pull a couple more cards here. What anything else pile one needs to know or hear right now? Okay. Sorry, I feel like I gotta apologize. I'm like just like not in my best mood, and I don't really know why. It could be a little bit of your energy because of this like frustration. It could just be also that I've been sick. Yeah, you know it's interesting. Two people actually were telling me about how when you're like sick or you're just like not in a high vibration, that it's hard to be kind and compassionate because you just don't have that in your range. And I heard people say that, and I was like, I don't agree. I don't agree. I feel like I think there's always room for that, but that's like my personal belief. But I can see how it's harder in lower energies to admit um, a constant loving and compassionate energy towards others. Okay, anyways, just anything else for pile one? Anything else for them to hear? We have receive. May you know you are worthy of a gift. Um, anything else? We have faith. May trust steady your fears and journey. May you seek adventure. Receive faith and journey. I like the faith card because I do feel like it is like really reiterating this message down here of like trusting that the ending of this work, however that was for you, was in your highest good. And I feel like it was like divine protection and that it's going to lead to more joyous times, times where you're more valued and you feel able to be more playful and happy. Because like, one second, please. Okay. hopefully the last interruption. Okay. I doubt it though. Okay. So anyways, yeah, I really do feel like it is reiterating that there is just going to be more time for joy and freedom. And if you've been feeling really stuck at this job, you're finally going to be set free. Okay, well, this is getting a little much. I'm like, maybe I should just restart this with all these cats running around. Yeah. Got a lot of chaos energy in your life right now, my friend, and I'm so sorry for that because that just seems super, super frustrating. But I think, yeah, victory, sensitivity, and nurture. Creative writing. I just feel like there's like I think there's a lot of maybe frustration and anger kind of attached to the past, to this like a job for sure. And I think like how they didn't treat you or didn't appreciate you, or maybe just like didn't acknowledge you sometimes. But I really feel like this is gonna be tied to somewhere else in your life, like other places, other jobs. And I feel like there's just like a lot of anger there that's like not really serving you to hang on to. So when I actually see this creative writing card, there could be a little message here to literally do like some release writing. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's just kind of like where you just start by writing on a page and you just let it all out. And it's basically kind of like venting on the page so that you can just get it out of your system. And just get it out of you, if that makes sense. And then after that, it doesn't like really like serve you to read it back. It's more so just to get it out of your system and to get to the roots. So if you find yourself just being like, I'm so angry because I did this, then maybe you need to start like asking yourself, like, well, why did that make me angry? Because it reminded me of this moment. And why did that moment upset me so much? And like just kind of doing some detective work to really get to the root of what is going on there. And I do see that as part of like sort of that nurturing, like that younger you. Like there's clearly an aspect of you that did not get acknowledged words of affirmation that they needed. They did not get the support or the encouragement maybe from your parents um, that you needed. Just like I don't know if you've heard of like attachment styles, but there's like secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. Disorganized might be one that you feel familiar with, as it's kind of like one that might have happened from like neglectful parents, inconsistent parents, parents where like they just like sometimes would be there supporting you and encouraging you, and other times wouldn't. And then like you as a child just like don't understand what you're doing, that sometimes you got that encouragement and love, and sometimes you didn't. Um, there could just be a little bit of wounding around that. Um, and the beautiful part about attachment styles is that you can change them. I was trying to say change, but then part of me was trying to say train them. So maybe that maybe that's something you're interested in training how to have more of a secure attachment style. And it also reflects our attachment style with ourselves. Like, are you avoidant with yourself? Are you like abusive to yourself? Or do you neglect yourself sometimes? Like, it's really just kind of interesting to look at it in that regard. And indigo child and crystal children, this I just feel like is coming through to say like there is some like sensitivities there, and you might have not have been allowed to express your emotions as a kid, or might not have been seen as appropriate by your family. I definitely get an energy though that this pile might have come from some emotionally neglectful parents. And sorry if that is like um, triggering or feels disinvalidating or something like that. But I'm just like, I just feel a really strong vibe of that, of like not being allowed to really express the emotions and let them like be free. Like I almost feel like your parents like were scared of emotions and therefore didn't know what to do with them. And then that does not teach a kid how to appropriately vent or appropriately get rid of anger or appropriately express frustration. Instead, it just ends up coming out in all this chaotic way or in this like explosion because we just like hold it back until we don't know what to do with it. So I do feel like there is a little bit of a acknowledgement there about how this could be something that you're really struggling with right now. But I'd like to have faith and like know that you are like working on it. Like you are starting the journey of like diving into your emotions. Like literally this is a staircase into the ocean or the sea probably. And like that is such a representation of our emotions in the water and just like embracing it and learning how to understand it and be okay with it. And also, I just love the victory card that comes through and saying, like, you are going to be successful. You are working through this. If you've been feeling really discouraged and like this is just like a lot to have to work through, to keep up your hope and know that, like, you've got this. You're going to get there with a little bit of self care, like self love and patience and gentleness with that, like, aspect of you that never, like, learned this. Don't be too harsh on yourself, okay? Don't be too harsh on yourself. And Archangel Gabrielle, that's funny, came out twice. It's all about communication, which is really interesting. They help us like have people hear us for what we mean and hear others for what they intend. So that's just interesting that it's coming through. Okay. And Archangel Metatron helps with people who kind of have one foot in this life and one in another. So they say like ADHD kids, or adults. You don't have to be a kid. You can be an adult. And then just like general energy clearing and chakra clearing. So I like seeing those two angels come up. Yeah. Okay. I think this is all I have for you, pile one. Oh, wait, look at that. Last card, relationship harmony. I like that. So things coming more into balance and things being easier. I actually feel like maybe you can just have struggled with being and maintaining relationships. And I just like that that's a little shout out saying like all is well, everything's gonna be okay if you're worrying about that. Okay, that's all I have for you, pile one. It was a little all over the place, but finally the cats calmed down, so that's nice. And I hope you have a good one. Hello, pile twos. All right, hopefully the cats won't be too distracting in this pile. They were very distracting in the first pile. Okay, so you chose this piece of amber, and I'm just going to stick it over here. And we're just going to ask, what do you need to know right now, pile two? What do your guides want you to know in love and light and for the highest good of all? Okay, and cool. Okay, so we have look for a sign in romance. We have forgiveness and opportunity. Okay, we have a little bit of everything going on here. Abundance, compromise, improving health, and choose a new direction, be assertive, and no need to worry. Interesting. So actually, weirdly enough, I kind of want to start over here where it says choose a new direction. And be assertive and no need to worry. This is talking about whatever this direction is. I feel like this is going to be kind of career orientated or work orientated. Some of you might be trying to start a new business or change your own business. This could be kind of a side hustle. Maybe you have multiple jobs, but I do feel like it's saying like, come out more as yourself. Like this person is hanging on to a little masquerade mask and she's like unveiling herself and it's showing all of her light and all of her beauty and all the things she has to offer. And I feel like it's just saying it's time for you to just let another layer of your true authentic self come through. Because look at this. These two cards almost look the same, right? No need to worry. Like, it's like you can unveil yourself and don't worry. Like, you are protected. Like, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about. I also like to see like the fire burning. So it's almost like when you're more of yourself, you let more of the authentic version of you come through in your work. This kind of fuels your passion because you're able to be more literally of yourself. You're able to do more of what you're wanting to do. And that just seems like a win-win. Yeah, and choosing the new direction. So this could look like just like, I don't know. I was going to try to give an example, but I have no idea. I just feel like it's like slightly shifting it. So like a different side of yourself comes up more on, say, maybe your social media, or if you have like a podcast, there's just more of like what's in your heart that's coming through, like you're researching more or you're interviewing more people who are a little more aligned with you or more just like you're interested in. Yeah, I don't really know what that's going to look like for each individual in this collective reading, but I just feel like there is a shift. And I do feel like there is a following that this group has. Some of you might think it's small, but it's probably bigger than others. It's bigger than someone's. And that's all that really matters. Okay. Well, that seemed really clear and straightforward. So that's all I have to say about that. Forgiveness and opportunity. This is interesting because I keep thinking of Kuan Yin, kind of Green Tara, Saraswati kind of vibes. I mean, it's probably supposed to be something like that. Forgiveness, and they're all about having compassion. And often this is directed more towards our own self-compassion and going easier on ourselves and not pushing ourselves so hard. So if you've been like really, okay, sorry about that. My camera battery died already. Okay, I am a little confused. I think I was talking about this over here, and it says opportunities and forgiveness. So I do feel like this is talking about finances. And the forgiveness part, I was like talking about having more self-compassion towards yourself and being gentler with yourself. So you might be someone who sometimes can like be really bad about having a list of things you have to get done for today to have been of value to you, or for someone to feel like they were productive enough or like deserving of having been accomplishing enough. Does that make sense? It's almost like if you didn't get like 100 things done, then why, like, what have you even done today? That kind of mentality. And I just feel like, sorry, I might just looked over at my cat. He looked really funny. Yeah, and I just feel like it's like being more gentle with yourself and letting things be more balanced. Like some days are going to be more productive than others, and some days it's important just to go and have fun. And it's like there's no need to punish yourself for those different days and those different amounts of productivity that you experience. And the opportunity, I feel like it's like saying like the more you honor yourself and you yeah, my cats are so distracting today. It's just trying to jump on top of a box that's empty, and it just keeps moving away from him because it's empty. And his weight's too heavy for the little box to not just push it away. So anyways, yeah, I do feel like there's just like a lot of money coming your way. Like that sounds kind of funny to say, but I feel like when you honor yourself and you're in more of a peaceful, balanced energy, more opportunities find you. And maybe you've even started to notice that, because down here we have abundance, compromise. Look at that. Compromise is literally finding balance, improving health and improving abundance. So I feel like there's really like literally a message here saying like, if you're like pushing yourself so hard that you're like burning out, you're stressed, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not eating very well, you're not mentally or emotionally feeling very well, it's saying like, then you might notice that like you get less work, you get less opportunities. And it's like, I feel like it's literally in correlation with like, if you're not feeling well, then the universe isn't going to give you more work so that you have even less time to take care of yourself. So it's like when you find balance, you find better health and you find more opportunity and better abundance. So I don't know if it's like maybe you like get bigger jobs. I don't really know what this work is that you do, or maybe you get sponsorships or something like that. But it's almost like when you're in balance, things just flow easy. And I think you're starting to catch on to that. I think so. I think this is something that you've been learning. I also just really like this image on this card, this improving health card. I don't know, it's very pretty. It's like, maybe it's because it feels very balanced. Like good things come in and equal amount of stuff comes out. It's like giving and receiving a really good exchange. So look for a sign in romance. This is really interesting as well, because I feel like this actually is talking about romantic relationships. So you wonder if you're starting to want to call in a new love person, a new love person, very official. Or if you're starting to like look for someone who might be a soulmate or like a more serious long-term partner. And when I like to look for a sign, and this has a thunderbolt, it tells me like that it's coming in quick, like it's on its way. And it's like look for a sign. So you might literally have a like an animal that you see when you are thinking of like a soulmate. So like maybe for you, you'll see like a dove. I don't know, a dove every time when you're asking about it, or a deer or something like that. I feel like it'll be unique to you as the viewer. And it's just saying like, look for those signs, and I think you'll find them. Oh, look, I was like, why is a dove in my head? Well, there's a dove above the romance card, so maybe that's why. I'm thinking of that. Kind of do want to pull a few more cards on clarity around this, because I feel like this is something that this pile is actually really curious about. So, let's see. What else do we need to know about this romance card? Pile 2, victory. That's a great card. Clairvoyance, relationship harmony, and clear intentions. Loved one. Archangel Samuel. Okay, sorry. Isn't it interesting you got a little blues? You got all blues for romance cards. But Archangel Samuel comes through when we are trying to attract in things that are highly aligned with us. So like jobs, like soul purpose work, soul family stuff, soulmate stuff. Like it's all like our higher relationships. So I really like seeing him come through, and it says, I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. Be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. So I really like this. It's like, know what you want in the soulmate relationship, know how you want to be treated, and do not compromise. Sometimes this card comes through when, for example, we're trying to manifest in a soulmate who might still be trying to work through some of their shit. And it's not because you're going to get them when they're working through their shit. It's actually to make sure you get them once they have. And sometimes if we are just not compromising and we set our standards and boundaries to be what we want to experience. So like if you are someone who has been in a chaser energy in the past where you constantly find avoidant relationships, or vice versa, then if your standard is I am not going to chase, and I want someone who's consistent in their affections for me and does not I don't know, like doesn't change their mind, they're consistent, that's like a non-negotiable. I'm not going to chase. I'm only going to make time for a relationship where someone is going to match my level of commitment and integrity in a relationship. And it could be something like, I only want to be with people who do as they say and say as they do. And then it's like, keep those and hold those as your standards. And if you meet this person and you're like, I think they might be my soulmate, but they aren't able to meet those standards, those minimums standards that you have, then this person is not the one for you, or they're not in the right energy yet. So it just seems really important to say clear intentions about what you know you're deserving of and what you're wanting for yourself, and not compromising. And there's different compromises, right? Like if you're like, I only want to date someone who's 6'5", like then that might not be a fair standard. And I mean, I could be debated, but like if someone has a great personality and is compatible in every other way, but they're only like 5'11", maybe it's okay. Anyways, that might be a random message for someone. I'm talking about like non-negotiables, not preferences. So relationship harmony, that's a great card to come out when we're asking about romance. We angels are opening up the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. So I like this. This is just saying like the guides are helping everyone get to the state they need to be in and are trying to help them work through the lessons they need to before they're ready. And this does mean everyone, so yourself included, and also this other person you're trying to call in. Victory card. Your prayers have been answered. Have faith. I love this. This is saying like it is coming in. Like keep trusting that everything's happening when it's supposed to. Because like I said, lightning bolts are all about like the now energy. Something's ready to come in right away. It's quick moving. And quick moving, I should say, could be like a month. But if you think about the fact that it could be years or decades, a month or two, that's pretty quick. Clairvoyance. I'm helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. I actually see this as like changing what you can see is possible for you. So this comes back to me in my mind about the standards. And like if you've previously thought that like you can't see a certain standard in someone, like you've lowered your standards, your non-negotiables, because no one's ever been able to, you've never been with someone who's been able to hold them, then it's like time to change that and just know like those people didn't work for a reason, because they were not they were not for you. So someone's car alarm's going off. Always, you always like wonder, it's like, yo, is that my car? It's never been my car. But maybe today it is. Oh, that's so funny. Anyways, hopefully that ends. Nope, double checked. Still not my car. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's anything else one should pull a card for this pile. You know what? I did have this sea deck that I did want to pull from just because of the seashell theme. So just anything else pile 2 needs to know right now. I guess we can take those. We have lightness. May the light lift you to the surface. Depth. May you immerse and go deeper. Love. May you dive deep into your passions. So I actually love depth, especially with this ocean deck, because it is all about like the water's all about our emotions and like finding deeper depths on our emotions, with our emotions. Cards are also just very pretty. Lightness. May you lift light and surface. Yeah. Oh, pile 2. I feel like there is some great things coming your way. Honestly, from career to like finances to love life. I feel like you might not really believe it. I get skepticism from this pile, but I think it's just because you have been waiting for this for a while, and I think you've been getting this message for a while, that sometimes it can be like, yeah, sure, I've heard that, I'll believe it when I see it, any day now. I'm waiting, I'm ready, but I'm just still waiting. And I do feel like it is coming. It is coming. Victory. You really got a card. Like you've already won. It's already coming in. And the lightning bolt, which means it is happening. Look for your signs. They are coming in. And no need to worry. Yeah, okay. I do feel like there is an animal card though, that like an animal card, sorry. I do feel like there's a specific animal that you might associate with this soulmate. So I just would take whatever animal that is for you as like look for that. That is the sign of this person. Could be this person has a tattoo of that animal. Or you talked with a person, if you know who they are, about a certain animal, or you dream of a certain animal, and I just really feel like there's something where it's like correlated with this person. And I think you'll see that animal more as they get closer and closer into coming into your life. So, just a little longer, my friends. I know I feel like you've really heard this so many times, but you've got this. You've got this. It's coming in. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you around. Hello, pile 3. So you chose the Kambaba Jasper. I'll just place it over there. Okay, let's just see what you need to hear right now in love and light for your highest good, pile 3. Ooh, that is really bright. I like blinded myself with the reflection of these cards. Oof. Okay, well, apparently we're throwing away our heart over there. What else do you need to know? Stay optimistic. Wow. Well, these are coming out really easily, so I guess that's good. All right. And that one. Let's see here. So you have healing heart, stay optimistic, playtime and soulmate relationship. We have music for manifestation and rest. And we have simplify your life, helpful person, and alchemy. Interesting. Second card, you get a little thing about love. I mean, that does affect us a lot. And we do care about romantic relationships in this society. So anyways, you are a powerful healer. Keep up the great work. Your dreams are coming true, and don't quit right before the miracle occurs. Aw, I really like this. Oh my gosh. Okay, I was like, I kind of feel like these are going to be correlated. The top two and these bottom two. I mean, in this card here, there's like a little prince in the distance, and this girl's like looking out over at him, but he seems so out of reach. And I feel like I don't know, actually maybe I should just pull one more card here just to clarify before I say something, but I'm like, what is clarify this healing heart? Accept heaven's help. Okay. And synchronicities, and you're being helped. Okay, guys, look at that. You literally have, oh my gosh, you have 3 cards saying helped, helped, helped. Synchronicities, which is like basically the way the world says like things are working for you, and every time you see synchronicity, like know that it's like things are working out for you. Yeah. So I feel like, and some of you might have been going through some literal healing. I don't know, maybe you've just been hurt by a lot of relationships in the past, or let's put those there. Or maybe you went through like a really bad breakup or some sorts. You know what? I have to say though, I was with this card, like I usually don't see this and feel like it's so tied to like a inner child wounding. I mean, we all like attract relationships that are gonna hit us in what do I say? What am I trying to say? I keep getting really distracted today. We all are naturally gonna be in relationships that trigger us to some extent, right? Like we like have our family systems who like gave us certain belief systems about our values and like the kind of love we have and attachment styles and all that. But I feel like for this last relationship, I feel like it really got you good for all three. Like, I think it like might have really made clear where there was some like wounding. And I do keep thinking it between like the mom and the child. So this feels like I first have to say I don't know why there's such a theme in this pick a card reading around attachment styles, but it has been a theme this week. So that usually makes sense. It's been a thing all week that is usually coming forward in the YouTube pick a card reading. So I don't know if you have ever done that quiz where it's like seeing your attachment style, but it can be really interesting to do that quiz under the mindset of how you felt when you were a child and then taking the test again with how you feel now as an adult, because it will show you like when you're a kid what kind of attachment style you were actually being taught to have. So it could have been anxious, disorganized, or avoidant, or it could have been secure. But I feel like in this one, I don't think it's going to be that. Yeah. And I'm not, I'm not even going to say what I think it might be because I want you to take the test so you can find out for yourself. Because I keep getting like, however, the dynamic was between you and your mom, I think is how the dynamic was for you in this relationship. And it's so interesting. I keep seeing it as a son and a mother. So this pile, you might be more of the male gender than the female gender, but you don't have to be. Just majority of my YouTube viewers are females. So sometimes it's just nice to get acknowledged that you might actually be a man watching this right now. Yeah, anyways, sorry, like I said, I'm really distracted today. This cold got me good that I've had. Okay, but anyways, so I feel like this last relationship really did bring forward this the wounding that you might have had, or this attachment style wounding that you might have had with your mom. So this person probably made you feel as insecure as this parent did, or as neglected, like whatever that type of relationship you had with them was, I think was really inflated in this past relationship. And I do feel like it was a little bit longer. So I feel like this like relationship would have been significant enough that it was probably at least a year or longer. So some of you could have been multi-years that I do feel like it had enough of an impact to really bring up a lot of things to surface, and it just hit you differently. Like you might have perhaps even have had other relationships that were similar to this one, but this one, like, I don't know, there was a clarity to it. Like you just really see now something you couldn't see about the other past relationships. So it did bring, I feel like, a lot of insight in. And a lot to learn. So when I see all these cards around accept heaven's help, synchronicities, being helped, helpful people, as I feel like it ending was a divine thing. Like it was so that you could have this clarity. You could really see what you're seeing now. And I feel like there's a lot of people, whether it's like professionals, like counselors, therapists, colleagues, friends, family members, I should say healthy family members who are like really trying to point out to you how this has maybe been a pattern in your life, but also I feel like who are really just teaching you your value and reminding you of your value. So I don't know, there's a lot about having more fun too here, like playtime. Dolphins are all about being more joyful and more playful and not taking things so seriously. So I wonder if this pile sometimes have a habit of getting really in your head and being like, I'm going to make sure this never happens again. And like, maybe you can overanalyze things. Like maybe you're constantly thinking the what if scenario, like what if this person meant that? What if they actually meant this? What if, like, it's like such a hard place to go down. It's just never ending if you start going down the what if train, and it doesn't help anybody out, right? It just drives us a little crazy. So you feel like there's just like an ask here for helping you step out of that pattern. So some of you might have some Virgo placements in your charts. Those are kind of the overthinkers. I kind of get that vibe here. You might not even have any Virgo in your chart, but sometimes if like Virgo rules a certain house, um, then that can make sense because it could be like a really significant thing. Like if you Virgo rules your communication house, then you're gonna have a lot of Virgo influence in your communication style. So, anyways, or in your relationships. Yeah. So it could just be something interesting to look at if you're into astrology at all. Um, yeah, back to the helpful people. I really feel like this is like one of those destined breakups where we have a lot of free will in our lives. At least I believe so. But I feel like there's like some relationships like this past one where it was just meant to happen so that you could be set free. And there is like a need for you to be on your own for a bit. And let me clarify, like being with friends, but then not being in a romantic partnership for a bit. Because look at this person is learning to simplify their life and just love life as it is and like being happy exactly with what they have right now and not with thinking about all the things they don't have. Same with this, like finding new things to explore and like about their situation. So that's actually what I'm getting from the alchemy card. It's like, what are things you do to day life that you like maybe aren't like you've lost touch with, like that you used to love and now you don't even appreciate. Like, isn't it awesome that you get to go to the gym whenever you like? You can go for however long you like because you don't need to be anywhere. Um, Unless you made plans with your friends. There's just like things like that, like finding the new appreciation for things and maybe even like meeting new people and having interactions with new people. Helpful people. There's definitely still like a big theme around making sure you like hang out with friends and stuff. And the thing I like here, it says new romance is in a spiritual basis is here for you now. Soulmate relationship. I do feel like there is going to be someone who is a little more aligned. And I even feel like this comes in with the stay optimistic card. So I think there's just like honestly a time where you're needing to go through some healing, where you're just needing to remember who you are. Remember, you don't need anyone outside of yourself, but that friends and other people do enhance our lives. It's kind of a contradictory message, right? It's almost like I feel like if you've been codependent in past relationships, then it's almost like reminding you that you have all the power you need by yourself, but you don't need to shut everybody else out. It's so funny. Even saying this, I'm like, I feel this concept confuses this pile because you're like, wait, what? How do you not need anything outside of yourself, but then you still need friends? I don't get it. I get that. It's kind of confusing. Um, I really feel like it's just talking about how it enhances our lives, right? It enhances our lives to connect with others and to have more joyful, lighthearted moments. That's more what it's talking about too, is like just like not needing anyone, but choosing to have them in your life because they enhance it. That's probably the better verbiage here. Yeah. And I also do feel like there is like a need for friends in your life to help you sometimes not overthink, like I was saying, like overthink all these like things about future people you're dating and like I don't know, I really feel like this pile can go down like a spiral of like things like if I date someone, what will it look like? This will probably happen. Like I don't know. I feel like your mind goes on and on and on. And it's really exhausting. Anyways, I feel like the right person is gonna find you at the right time here once you've like had your time to recenter, reset, and remember, um, the things about life that you just enjoyed. And I really do feel like you just lost touch with in this past relationship. Yeah, I think it happens to all of us, though. We all kind of need to recenter and realign and like discover who we are and figure out who we are after a relationship, right? Because we've always all changed, and sometimes um, we just need to come back to like, who am I? Who am I? Who do I want to be now? Um, yeah, and that just takes time. So I like music for manifestation and rest. I feel like there is just like a little call here about like to help with healing. You might feel better like listening to certain music might help you like literally work through some emotions. So it could be like the verbiage just really makes you feel seen. It could be that you need to sing along with music to help you really get out some stuck emotions. It also could be dancing can help you like feel better and literally lift your spirits up. And then rest. You've been working hard. Take a nap and get some rest. Something tells me like this file could literally be that you've been working a lot. You might be a bit of someone who throws themselves into work to distract themselves from time to time. So I don't. This could literally mean you're just needing more rest because you literally are working a lot and not sleeping very much. Um, and it also could mean that you're just like, as you work through your emotions and stuff, it can be really exhausting. And we do also need more rest sometimes there. Yeah, playtime. I just really like that. Simplify your life, and it's just time to play and not take things so seriously. Dolphins know the importance of playing as joy creates miracles and manifestations. Yeah. I also have a card here that says eliminate clutter from your home and work life to balance the flow of activities. Yeah, okay. When I ever see declutter, sometimes it means like sometimes you just need to get the other person's energy out of your house. And sometimes you need to get your old stuck energy out of your own house. So there's just like maybe just need to like change some things around. So if you're literally needing a change or if you feel different now and you just feel like your environment isn't reflecting that, then sometimes changing things around in your house is just enough to create an energetic change in your environment. Also, if you are someone who is trying to call in another relationship, you might literally need to make room for them in your life. So it could mean decluttering your schedule or some of your responsibilities so that you actually have time to date people or time for or space for them in your home even. Yeah, take that message as it resonates. Sometimes that also comes through. Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else to pull a card for here. I feel like your message is pretty straightforward. Um, I can pull the C cards again. Okay, so just anything else pile 3 needs to know right now. We have release. May you lay down your burdens. That's actually a great card for this pile. Release. After we're just talking about decluttering, like letting go of the old emotions, old anything. Honestly, like I feel like everything in our lives is a reflection of our internal world. So like I always feel like if I'm feeling really stuck emotionally, if I change something in my house, like if I just even take out all the recycling and garbage, I feel better. I've literally taken out some extra shit out of the house, and that makes me feel like at least maybe my energy will be a little bit better then. Or I change my cat's litter boxes because I've got 4 litter boxes and that's a lot of poop in there. So that even makes me feel better. um, okay, we have journey. May you seek adventure. Ooh, that's also perfect for this pile. And wild. May you express all that you are. I love this. I also just love being a little wild. So feel like I vibe with this pile. Um, anyways, I just really like it. Makes me think of this playtime card where it's just like release, explore, and just be authentically you and don't be too serious about life. Just like get after it. Okay, hang on. Let me just even zoom in because these cards are really pretty. You should be able to see them better. There we go. Look at those waves. Super pretty. You want one more? Okay, we'll pull one more card. Fluid. May you shift and transform. Okay, sorry. My memory card just filled. So I'm just going to quick here. I hope you all have a good one, and I'm going to leave it here. That's all I have to say for you. Hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever it is for you, and maybe I'll catch you around.